Recently, our city has seen multiple incidents involving young women. According to witnesses, the suspect is dressed in black and has a scar on his nose.
Emily was in a rush.
Emily, we're going to be late. I'm not waiting for you.
Coming. I hurriedly closed the video, grabbed my book, and dashed out.
It was pouring rain outside, and people were rushing about.
Watch out.
I bumped into someone, and my pen fell to the ground. Just as I was about to apologize, I looked up and froze. Everyone around was holding umbrellas, except for him. He was clad in a black raincoat, with only his eyes visible. His pupils were a deep, unfathomable black.
Your pen.
His voice was particularly hoarse. I hesitated before taking it from him. After a few steps, I turned around, but he had already vanished. Sitting in the classroom, I twirled my pen out of boredom.
Emily, what are you daydreaming about? Thinking about your boyfriend again?
What nonsense. Oh, right, he said he's treating the whole dorm to milk tea today. We'll go get it later.
He's not coming again? Your boyfriend is really elusive. When will you introduce him to us?
He's really busy. Maybe when he has some free time.
After class, Jessica and I walked to the side gate.
Huh? Where's the delivery? It says it was delivered half an hour ago.
Let's look around nearby. She walked off to the side.
Watching Jessica walk further away, I hesitated.
Maybe I should call.
Emily! I found it! Come over here!
That was quick, I said, picking up the bag of milk tea. Let's go.
Drip, drip.
What's that?
I wiped my face with my hand.
Emily, on your head, Jessica's face turned ashen, her lips trembling uncontrollably.
I slowly looked up. An arm was caught in the branches above, with red liquid dripping down the tree trunk. It was a woman's body.
Hey, did you guys hear? When I first saw it, I almost got sick. The condition was so terrible, her face was slashed multiple times, and her clothes were torn. I heard she was a girl from our major, so tragic.
I sat dazedly beside her, trying to comprehend everything.
I bumped into a strange man on my way to class earlier. Do you think he could be the culprit?
My roommates gathered around curiously, urging me to continue.
Tell us, it might be a clue.
I.
A series of urgent knocks interrupted me.
Emily, Jessica, are you there? The police are downstairs waiting to ask you a few questions.
We hurried downstairs, where two police officers were waiting.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm the lead investigator on this case, one officer with graying temples said, turning to me. Emily, I'd like to speak with you alone, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Michael and I sat in a cafe, the steam from our drinks swirling in the air as I described the man I had seen.
No, he shook his head firmly, it couldn't be him.
Why not?
Based on surveillance and the time of the incident, the victim was already in danger when you picked up your pen. We believe the perpetrator was lying in wait at a crucial spot in the building. Didn't you notice? The victim was wearing a white dress, had long hair, and her silhouette was very similar to yours. If you hadn't stopped, perhaps.
Michael didn't finish his sentence, but I felt a chill run down my spine.
Do you recognize him? He handed me a photo of a man's blurry profile.
No, I don't.
That's odd. I've been tracking this case for a year. The suspect used to operate in the north. Why would he suddenly come south? Even if he were moving around, the distance is too great.
Do you think he came specifically for me? But I don't have any enemies.
You're very perceptive, Emily. If you notice anything unusual or discover new clues, please inform the police immediately. Thank you for your cooperation.
Michael stood up and shook my hand in farewell.
I will.
Emily, what did Officer Zhang ask you?
Nothing much.
Your scarf fell out. She picked up the scarf. JNX, are you giving this to your boyfriend?
He gave it to me for my birthday last month, remember?
Are you kidding me? Didn't you knit this scarf yourself recently? You even showed it to us.
How could that be? I don't even know how to knit a scarf.
Jessica wanted to ask more, but she was interrupted by a classmate who had just arrived.
Emily, I unlocked your phone for you. Here you go.
This phone looks so old. Can it still be used?
Not really, but it holds all my memories from middle and high school. I accidentally forgot the password, and now I want to back up the photos to my new phone.
Lying on my dorm bed, I flipped through the photos one by one. During middle school, my family lived in a cheap rental apartment, where the environment was quite chaotic. Once, I was even followed on my way home from school. When our financial situation improved in high school, my smiles in the photos became noticeably more frequent and genuine. Suddenly, my eyes caught a figure in one of the photos. My fingers froze as I examined it closely.
How is this possible?
I frantically swiped through the screen, and details I had never noticed before became clear. He was in almost every photo, always in the background. I stopped my futile actions, sweating despite the cold winter. I dialed a number, my voice trembling uncontrollably.
Officer Zhang, I need to talk to you.
The phone lay quietly in the corner, its screen still lit up with a photo. It was the graduation photo of the entire class from Rongqing Middle School. Still in the familiar cafe, I had no interest in drinking coffee. Michael listened intently to my recounting.
You mean the suspect is your middle school classmate? Why didn't you mention this before?
He was very inconspicuous in class. I barely spoke to him during the 3 years of middle school, let alone had any interactions. If it weren't for the photos, I wouldn't even remember him.
I took a deep breath. Even in the bustling crowd, I felt a lingering unease.
But I found his figure in every photo, whether it was a selfie or a group photo, he was always in the background. This only started to disappear in high school photos.
Were you in the same class in high school?
No, I got into a top high school, but his grades weren't good. I don't know if he continued studying.
The clues you've provided are very useful. We'll continue investigating.
As soon as I got to the dormitory, my roommate called out to me.
Emily, come here. Isn't your boyfriend also a graduate of Haiching No. 1 High School?
Yes, why?
David, the senior, is coming to our school next week to recruit. Haven't you always wanted to join his company? He also graduated from Haiching No. 1 High School. This is a great opportunity.
Then I must prepare well.
As Emily finished her last sentence, she saw a smile on the interviewer's face, and her heart finally settled.
Miss Smith, wait a moment, I'll walk you out.
Emily hadn't walked far when someone called out to her.
Senior?
David gestured for her to follow him.
The point you made just now was very innovative, similar to an idea I had in high school. I heard you're from Rongqing. It's a pity. If you had attended Haicheng #1 high school, you might have been part of our team.
I guess we missed our chance, but my boyfriend went to Haicheng #1. Coincidentally, he was in the same year as you and was even the top student.
Oh? I remember the top student back then was James, but didn't he go abroad for college? Are you his girlfriend?
Question mark. Senior, you must be mistaken. My boyfriend is Robert, he was in Mr. George's class.
Impossible. Mr. George taught the class next to mine. I knew most of the boys in that class, but I've never heard of that name, nor seen it on the rankings.
Emily sat in the police station, her mind replaying David's meaningful words before he left.
Miss Smith, your boyfriend is either fabricating his achievements, or he never attended Haicheng #1 high school. Miss Smith, Miss Smith?
Officer Zhang. You said on the phone that the suspect has been caught, is that true?
Yes, and he specifically asked to see you.
I don't want to see him.
Michael pulled out a chair and sat down.
Then let me tell you instead. The clues you provided were very useful. He has confessed to the crimes.
Michael handed over a file.
His name is John, he attended Rongqing Middle School and later got into the least reputable high school in our area.
That's correct.
He had a crush on you in middle school and even secretly followed you home. When you went to different high schools, he gradually gave up. The women he harmed all bore some resemblance to you. He said he came back this time because he saw your photo by chance and had malicious thoughts again.
As Michael and Emily stepped out of the police station, he stopped.
I'll leave you here. Go home and rest well.
Suddenly, a middle-aged woman with wavy hair rushed over.
Slap!
Caught off guard, Emily was slapped across the face.
What are you doing?
The woman pointed at Emily, cursing.
Emily, you vixen! You enchanted my son in middle school, and now you're sending him to jail. Do you know his room is full of your photos? Being liked by my son is your blessing.
Emily touched her cheek and calmly walked up to her, returning the slap. With a louder sound, the woman's head turned to the side.
Aunt, you can wait for the news of your son's sentencing.
The woman fainted from anger. Ignoring the chaos behind her, Emily walked away quickly.
ING ring.
Seeing the familiar caller ID, Emily couldn't hold back her tears.
Robert.
What's wrong, Emily? Who upset you?
How dare she blame me? Just thinking about what her son did makes me sick.
Despite her broken sentences, Robert pieced together the situation.
Think about it this way. Every time he tried to harm you, something stopped him. Doesn't that show you're very lucky?
It seems like it's always been that way. When I was 8, there was a terrible car accident near my house. My parents and I were supposed to go out that day, but we were delayed by half an hour. We almost. My mom said I've been blessed by a higher power since I was little.
Then what are you afraid of? My dear Emily, you will always be protected.
His last words were so soft they dissipated into the air.
Robert, when are you coming to see me? I haven't seen you in so long.
Soon. Once I finish this, we can be together.
Finally, the exams are over.
Yeah. Emily, you mentioned celebrating with some milk tea. How about now?
I'll check the place we used to order from.
Suddenly, an order appeared on the screen, and my face turned pale.
What's wrong?
The day Robert treated us to milk tea, it was the 20th, right?
Yes.
You guys go ahead. I need to leave now.
Aren't you waiting for your boyfriend? You're going home now?
I'm not waiting for him anymore. There's something important I need to verify.
The train sped along, and I leaned against the window, clutching the ticket to Ocean City tightly.
Why did Jessica say the scarf was made by me? Why didn't David know Robert? Why did the milk tea order appear on my phone? Once could be a coincidence, but so many times.
I suppressed my doubts, unwilling to think further.
Maybe they just remembered wrong.
Standing in front of Ocean City High School, I politely asked the security guard.
Is Mr. George at school today? I'm his student and would like to visit him.
You're in luck. He just returned from a trip. Some students came looking for him yesterday, but couldn't find him.
Thank you.
It was class time, and the campus was filled with the sound of students reading aloud. I knocked on the office door.
Mr. Chen, may I come in?
The person at the desk adjusted his glasses and paused his grading.
Come in. Who are you?
Hello, my name is Emily. Do you remember David?
Of course, he was one of the smartest students I've ever met. As I expected, he got into S University and started a company after graduation.
I'm currently studying at S University. David often talks about you and admires you greatly. He said you remember every student. Do you remember a friend of mine, Robert?
George thought for a long time before finally denying.
I don't remember anyone by that name, but I have a photo of every graduating class. You could take a look.
I sat down and started flipping through the thick stack of photos. Time passed, and the sun began to set. I closed the album.
Mr. Chen, thank you for your time today.
No problem. Did you find who you were looking for? Would you like to stay for dinner?
No, thank you.
I walked out of the school gate in a daze, my steps unsteady. Passers-by gave me strange looks. Ignoring them, I shakily took out my phone and dialed a number I knew by heart.
The number you have dialed is not available. Please try again later.
I repeated the action, but no matter how many times I tried, all I heard was the cold electronic voice. The streetlights cast long shadows, and I collapsed in a cold corner, curling up and sobbing.
Cousin, let's go set off fireworks together. Please, please.
A little girl, about 7 or 8 years old, tugged at my sleeve, pleading.
Anna, you go by yourself.
Anna, come out here. Stop bothering your cousin all the time.
Aunt Mary walked in and took Anna's hand.
Hey, since she came back from vacation, she just stays in her room all day, not saying a word about what's bothering her. Let Anna pester her a bit.
Mom, cousin always cries in her sleep and keeps calling out for Robert. Who is Robert?
Mrs. Smith stopped in her tracks, disbelief written all over her face. You said your cousin keeps calling for Robert?
Yes, from the first day I came. I hear her say that name every night.
Anna and Aunt Mary left, giving us some privacy.
Emily, be honest with me, is your condition acting up again?
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Have you forgotten? In high school, you kept saying you wanted to find Robert, but there was no such person. The doctor said you had delusions, and you took a year off school to get better. I can't believe it's happening again.
Mrs. Smith sighed in frustration.
I'll take you to the hospital again another day. I shouldn't have let you go to school so far away. This condition.
Impossible! I've never been to the hospital, and I'm not sick. I just talked to Robert on the phone recently.
Mrs. Smith's gaze grew more sympathetic. Your condition is getting worse. In high school, you also clung to your phone, saying you were chatting with Robert. But when I checked, there were no call records. I rushed out of the house, ignoring Mrs. Smith's attempts to stop me. Outside, the cold wind was biting, the north wind howled, and snowflakes danced in the air. I walked aimlessly through the thick snow. Suddenly, I slipped.
Careful.
A pair of hands caught me steadily.
Robert? I looked up in surprise, but my eyes quickly dimmed when I saw the face clearly.
Emily, you seem disappointed to see me?
I sat on the sofa, watching Michael make tea, the steam rising and spreading in the cup.
Have some, it'll warm you up.
Michael handed me a cup of tea.
Officer Michael, are you from Wrong City too?
Yes, I was transferred to another place a few years ago. My first case was around here.
Wrong City doesn't seem to have had any major cases.
What are you thinking? It was just a hit and run. I couldn't even look at the little boy's condition back then, and his family didn't even come to claim the body, like they had lost some burden.
Did they catch the driver?
No, there were no cameras in that area, and it was nighttime. I once had a daughter who also died in an accident. She was the same age as that little boy. I still remember his name. He was called Robert.
I suddenly looked up, my breath quickening, staring unblinkingly at Michael.
Say that again. What was his name?
Robert.
Narrator, tone, terrified, what's that?
Malie wiped her face with her hand.
Jessica, tone, terrified, Emily, on your head.
Jessica's face turned ashen, her lips trembling uncontrollably. Emily slowly looked up. An arm was caught in the branches above, with red liquid dripping down the tree trunk. It was a woman's body.
You want to find records from 13 years ago? Are you kidding me?
Please, Officer Michael. Tugs at young man, you beg him too.
And who is he?
He's my boyfriend.
Doesn't he have a mouth of his own?
Haha. You have a personal connection to this case, don't you? Otherwise, you wouldn't remember it for so long.
Michael fell silent.
Emily, you know this is illegal. If we get caught, it won't just be a simple dismissal.
I know it's difficult for you. You once told me your daughter also passed away.
I saw Mr. Johnson's face twitch uncontrollably.
Just say what you need to say.
I've been having this recurring dream. In the dream, a little boy is crying. He's crying and shouting for revenge for something that happened 13 years ago.
What nonsense are you talking about?
Robert silently stepped in front of me.
Mr. Johnson, I haven't even started yet.
You want money, right? How much?
I don't want anything. You see, 13 years ago, why did you cover up for the driver in that accident?
Nonsense. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Johnson, do you know why I brought my boyfriend along?
What?
Robert cracked his knuckles and grabbed Mr. Johnson by the collar.
Robert has trained in martial arts for years.
In no time, Mr. Johnson was tied to a chair, looking disheveled.
You are monsters. I won't say anything, even if it kills me.
I crouched down and patted Mr. Johnson's face.
Oh? Then I will.
Peter is your son, isn't he?
Both Mr. Johnson and I looked at Robert in surprise.
This fell from your pocket earlier, but it doesn't look like anyone else lives here. You and your wife are divorced, right?
So what?
Coincidentally, I've had dealings with Peter. He hates having an abusive father the most. If his mom dared to hide any money, you'd beat them both.
Middle-aged people fear loneliness the most. Don't you want to see your son again? I can help you.
Mr. Johnson no longer glared at us. He slumped in the chair like a deflated balloon.
I did see the truck driver's face clearly back then. His name is Richard, and he was responsible for transporting materials to the construction site. I was scared that day. I wanted to report him, but he threatened me. He had something on me.
What did you do?
I was selling substandard materials. If the company found out, I would definitely be fired.
Having gotten the information I wanted, I decided to leave. As we were about to leave, Mr. Johnson called out to me.
Why did you suspect me?
Maybe you forgot. You were never late, but that day you were fined. Someone as stingy as you could have avoided the fine by telling the truth, but you just said you overslept. Isn't that suspicious?
As we walked away, I cheerfully sidled up to Robert.
Do you think Mr. Johnson would be furious if he knew his son was already caught?
You're so mischievous.
This trip to Haicheng, I will succeed.
Emily sat on the wall, looking down in fear.
Robert, you better catch me.
I'm ready.
Emily closed her eyes and jumped, bracing herself. Instead of the expected pain, she landed in a warm embrace.
Why climb the wall if you're so scared? We're not thieves.
You don't understand, she covered her forehead, giving him a resentful look. This driver has been on the run for years. He must be dangerous. We can't alert him.
Emily pulled Robert along, sneaking towards the window. A warm light shone through, and the smell of food wafted out. They heard voices inside.
David, eat more. Have you been staying up late for work again?
Everyone's working overtime on the project. It's not a big deal.
Emily's heart skipped a beat. What a small world. She stood up in a daze, accidentally bumping into the window frame.
Ouch!
The conversation inside stopped.
Who's there? Someone quickly came to the door, and they had nowhere to hide.
Emily?
Robert and Emily stood awkwardly inside.
Care to explain why you're in my house?
Sorry, Senior. Could you step aside for a moment? We need to talk to your father.
David was about to refuse, but another voice spoke up.
It's okay, David. They mean no harm.
After David left, Emily got straight to the point.
Why? Why did you flee after the accident?
She was ready for a tough battle, but to her surprise, Richard seemed relieved.
The day has finally come. I knew it would sooner or later.
Richard covered his face, his shoulders trembling.
I'm a coward and a failure. David has always been smart. I was afraid people would call him the son of a criminal. I was afraid he'd be judged.
So you ran away?
Yes, I was terrified. I didn't even dare to check on the boy's condition. Regret filled Richard's eyes. For 13 years, I haven't slept well. I dream of the police coming to take me away every night.
You say you were scared, but you knew how to threaten Mr. Johnson. Now that David has grown up and has his own company, you dare to reveal the truth? You're not just a coward, you're incredibly selfish. You're like that butterfly. Do you know how many lives, how many families, your actions have destroyed?
Richard stammered, unable to say a word.
I will inform the police. Even after all these years, the truth must come out.
Standing on the rooftop, the bright moon hung high, casting a cold light on them.
New Year's Eve is almost here.
Emily fell into an embrace, kisses raining down on her, Robert's muffled voice coming from behind.
John's verdict will be out soon.
If we go back in time and fail to stop Richard, will you disappear, and I'll forget you forever?
No ifs. Robert hastily covered her mouth, emphasizing again, I will succeed. I'll give you a grand wedding, the life you've always dreamed of. My Emily, always under divine protection.
Why are you crying?
She gently kissed away Robert's tears. Emily took a few steps back, the wind lifting her skirt, and she smiled brightly.
Robert, our efforts won't be in vain, do you hear me?
Emily will always remember this night, and the person beside her.
Are you the Emily who skipped 2 grades and transferred to our Haiching High School?
The person in front of Emily adjusted his glasses, looking her up and down.
Yes, Mr. Chen.
Go in and pick a seat for yourself.
Emily stepped into the classroom, and it instantly fell silent as everyone turned to look at her.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily. I'd like to sit.
Emily pointed to the back row, where a boy stopped his antics and stared at her blankly.
Next to Robert.
The spring was bright and everything was awakening. The future finally began to move in a new direction.